I went to Wilson's Grammar School in Camberwell, which is the school that Michael Caine went to, in fact, several years before me, I might add. And it was an interesting school, and it was there was a lot of drama going on there, and a lot of interesting music. So groups of us used to go to gigs, is what I'm saying, from school at quite a young age. And I think the first two, I went to see the Shadows and Cliff at the Gaumont Lewisham cinema when I was 13, and that was after us. All the patrol leaders from our scout troop went, and that was probably the first. We all wore appalling knitted sweaters that our mums had made us. The Shadows used to, like the Shadows wore on the front of their first album. And then, so that was the first big gig I remember going to on my own, as it were, after seeing Lonnie Donegan. But I did see the Beatles twice. I saw the Beatles again at Gaumont Lewisham. That would have been sometime in the late summer of '63. And then I went to the Beatles Christmas show at Finsbury Park Empire with some kids from school. I did see the Rolling Stones, and again I went with a bunch of kids from school, and that must have been in 1963. And it was they'd released the record Come On, and I think the second record was Beatles. It was I Wanna Be Your Man. I think that was out, but they weren't headlining. They were supporting the Ronettes, and I saw them at Tooting Odeon, and it was excellent. In December 1967, the Pink Floyd, I think was something like the 7th, it was a Friday evening, early December '67. It was thick snow, and the Floyd were playing in Chislehurst Caves. And I had my friends, 3 friends, and crammed into the back of my minivan, you know, and we sort of skated through the snow to Chislehurst, and we got our tickets on the door, and it was dangerous. It was absolutely dangerous. I mean, just the crush of getting in there was appalling. I mean, they'd never get a music license. Yeah, they wouldn't even ask you a music license now. It was dangerous getting in. There was no ventilation, and it was the original Pink Floyd with Sid. Roger, you know, the usual lineup, but Sid Barrett was there. It was, you know, obviously pre-Dave Gilmour, and they played the entire Piper at the Gates of Dawn album, but they didn't play Arnold Lane or See Emily Play, which the purists were glad they didn't do the pop records.